Liftoff.
Hey there, Weekend Confirmers. It's Jeff Cannata here with your question of the week. Today's question, sent in by Philip Boucher, is kind of the question. He asks, why do you play games? It's a big question. A lot of answers, a lot of reasons, and I think it's such a big question that I think the way into it, the first thing that popped into my head is I love exploring worlds, let's say, created by artists. I love peering inside an artist's creation, and with a video game, I can walk around inside that, and I can explore it at my pace with control over where I want to go. I love lots of different kinds of art, but many of them I'm guided through that experience by the narrator. And in video games you have that to a certain extent too, but interactivity allows me to go through nooks and crannies and see, experience systems, and by systems I mean rule sets, interconnectivity of mechanics, all those things that were put together by an artist for a purpose. And, oh look, Andrea's dancing. And those were put together with a specific purpose in mind to convey a certain mood, feeling of excitement, or action moment, or puzzle moment. All those things, I get to have this conversation with the designer or series of designers much later than it's a out of sync conversation, just like you would with when you're reading a book or experiencing something else, where the author is talking to you, is writing things to give you an experience, and you're having that after they're completely done with it. But with a video game, you get to have, I wouldn't say an equal amount of input, but much more input than you have in any other medium of how you experience that, where you choose to go, what you choose to do next. Now, obviously that's the high concept, sort of ideological, highfalutin explanation of why you play games. The easy answer is they're fun. I dig fun, and any way I can have fun, I'm all for it, and I tend to have a lot of fun with video games. So, you know, take everything I said at the beginning with a grain of salt, because when it comes right down to it, I'm having fun, and I'm not always conscious of all that other baggage that I like to put on it, but that's the most exciting part, is when I get to step inside a fantasy world, or a science fiction world, or even the world right outside of something like GTA. And I get to see that world through the prism of an artist or a series of artists who've designed it. And there are surprises around every corner, and by virtue of the fact that it's an entertainment piece, it's going to be more interesting than the real world. You know, if I walk down the street in the real world, chances are if I look in the garbage can, there's not going to be much interesting there. But in a video game, if I look in that garbage can, hey, I might find some useful stuff. So it's a denser, more interesting series of worlds because they've been created by artists. But also it's fun. Thanks for the question, and I'll see you next week.
Do it for really competitive reasons. You really like to win, and you like to beat other people and let them know that you beat them. Or perhaps you do it because it's relaxing. I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but for me, personally, I do it because it's something, it's an escape for me. Video games are one of the few things in my life that I can do where I just check out.